Hello trail dogs, it's January and that means that Christmas is gone and we're all fat. Yep, the reason we're all fat is because it's January and January is doing what January does. The weather is giving us 50 shades of grey. Unfortunately, we don't get the 50 shades of grey with the silk and the champagne and the fine dining. Nope, it's gone straight to the pain and the torture. So, if we can't get out on our bikes, what can we do? Well, we could always do some repairs. Those little jobs that you've been putting off because it's too much fun riding your bike, well, now's the time to do them. My name is Gary, welcome to One by Bikes. As you can see, we have Sophie's bike in the stand behind me. Now, Sophie has a problem with her dropper post. When she wants it to go down, it won't go down. And when she wants it to stay up, it won't stay up. So we'll have a look at that. But before that, some of you may have noticed from our intro video that the kids maybe have grown up a bit. This is what Miles looks like in the video, and this is what Miles looks like today. He's a little bit older. So, as a special treat to you all, we have made a new intro video which we can premiere at the end of this film. So if you stick around to the end, you can see the new intro video, or you could just fast forward and watch it and then just not watch us ever again. Right, on with the repairs. So Sophie said that she had a problem with her dropper. Wouldn't stay down when she wanted it to stay down, and then would stick, or rather wouldn't stay up either. Now, if I press the lever here, I notice there's not a lot of return on that. So if I press, push down, that required more strength than I needed. And now if I let go of the lever, it comes straight back up. It shouldn't do that. It should stay down. Not as strong as I think I am. Now it's staying down. That definitely needs a service, but I think we can look at the lever as well. Let's go. Yeah, that's just coming straight back up, and that there's a fair bit of play as well in there. So I think we'll get the cable out, have a look at that, and then we'll look to servicing the dropper post as well. Right, let's get the lever off the bar. Now, I've got the attachment that leads on to the, or that attaches to the Magura. Sophie's not bothered. So she's still got the original Crank Brothers fastener clamp. That's the word I'm looking for, clamp. So we'll take that off. Just tighten it back up. Now, I suppose we should loosen that as well. And just in, nope, and loosen the grub screw. Now, I'm going to have to get the ferrule off as well, but we'll do that in a second. So this is now loose. and it's off. Now we need to get rid, well not rid, but we need to loosen the dropper post. So let's do that now. And in and loosen the dropper. And in order to get the dropper up and out, we need to feed the cable into here while we simultaneously, moves the camera, pull up on the dropper post. All right, let's try that, shall we? And that's it, up and out. Now then, this is going to have a service, but first of all, I want to make sure that this is moving freely. Ooh, dirty hands now. Well, tiny confession, I've already done some work off camera. The inner cable I took out, degreased and cleaned, gave it a very light oiling, put it back in the outer cable, make sure it was running smoothly, and all of that I did off camera because it's not really that interesting and we've got more interesting things to do, like for example the full strip and rebuild of our dropper post. Hooray! Okay then, so let's see about getting this done. You're going to need some things before you start. It does suggest having a hammer. We will get to that if we need a hammer. I'm not going outside to collect a hammer until I absolutely need one. A pick or a knife you will need. Then you will need 4 Allen keys. A 10mm, a 5mm, a 3mm and a 2.5mm. So, also you will need, if you want to do the full service, a service kit, which includes lots of good stuff. Let's start by removing the hardware from the top of the dropper. Question: do American riders parody themselves when they drop in by shouting in a ridiculous voice, "Drop in"? Just wondering. Also, do they know that that comes from skateboarding? When you drop in, do you literally drop into a ramp? You don't really drop in mountain biking. Mind you, much in the same way as you don't case anything because you don't have an engine case. First time I saw, sorry, you can't really see that. Talking of seeing, you can't see anything. The first time I saw someone casing something, I went, oh look, they've hung up. Because that's what you'd say in skateboarding. Hanging up. Right, get that out of the way. So that is the mounting hardware done. Now on the back of there is a 3mm Allen key. We want to loosen that off. Make sure it comes out. That's a grub screw. Okay, grub screw looks like that. I'll pop that there. And now we're going to go for the bigger one. Look how much mess I'm making. Right, 10mm and removing the bottom of the post. I will say that Crank Brothers Highline was not my first choice of post. I wanted the one up, but I have not been disappointed. The lever is good, the post is good. All round it's been a very, very satisfying experience. Alright, there's the gas cartridge. And somewhere on here, beginning to see the problem. There's a rubber O-ring here, which is supposed to sit on here, and it ain't, because it is well and truly goosehead. So that's for the bin. Now we need to take, pop that up there just now, the collar off. Let's see if I can get it with just my hand. And there we go. Yeah, there's a fair bit of boom skit in there. Right, this should now just pull straight off. Excellent. Alright, so now we need to take this ring off. Pop that over there. And get these out. Now this is where they said use the knife. There we are. Okay. And gently in the bottom there. That's one. And two. There. And then remove this, because we got one of those in the kit. So this is leaving us as well, as is this. All of these are going to be replaced. Right, let's give this a clean up, shall we? Well, time for a Bijou confessionette. Just as I was about to film that piece, I noticed that the batteries in the microphones were dying. And rather than subject you to... Rather than subject you to bad sound, everyone hates bad sound, don't they, Ian? Rather than subject you to bad sound, I thought I would voice over a bit of silent film. Hooray! Does the man know his talents? Does the man have any talents? Probably not, but have a look at this next bit. It will explain, at least in some part, how the strip down and the rebuild goes. Okay, here we go then, trying to commentate as best I can. There's a very clean tube, well, mostly clean. So I cleaned everything down, degreased it, and now what are we doing? Right, we're going to fit the top collar. The tip for fitting this, it is quite a tight fit, is to rock it backwards and forwards. You can see I'm struggling a little bit there. I'll tell you what, no, there it goes, there it goes. I never thought that commentating on something which I had already done would be so difficult. Right, then there's that plastic bit that gets slid over and joins the bit at the top. Now, if I remember correctly, oh, we're going for the grease now. Well, let's see you try to get into that with gloved fingers on. Did you manage it? Oh, good job. Surprised at that. Normally those packets are difficult to get into, even without gloved fingers on, but with gloved fingers on. Now, the kit itself comes with grease. However, the consistency of the grease is more or less like the muck-off grease that we've got. We've just got like a general all-purpose grease. It comes out of the tube pink and it smells of blackberries. muck-off stuff generally smells of something quite fruity. Not sure how it tastes. For that you'd have to ask Sophie, who once got some in her mouth and said it didn't taste very good at all. Looking at the bench there, I can see that's the, those strips help to guide the dropper inside its outer sheath. I think I struggled to get that in a bit. This is where the hammer, it calls for the use for hammer. I think using a hammer, you shouldn't really have to. If you have to use a hammer to put in something like that, then maybe the tolerances are far too tight. Also, if you have to use a hammer to get it in, how are you going to get it back out again? So that went in properly. Now those two pieces of plastic help to guide the dropper as it slides up and down inside the outer post. If you remember when I showed you the outer post, there were those two channels, and those plastic strips there just slide freely within those channels. So we've got that bit done. What I will say is, certainly on the Crank Brothers post, and I presume that other rebuildable posts are fairly similar. Now just a little bit more grease to make sure that everything functions properly when it's put back on the bike. Slide up the seal. Now this is the important bit, making sure that you put the seat, the inner, inside in the correct way. So the retaining bolt at the back goes on the same side as the Crank Brothers logo. Just simply slide it in. Tighten the top clamp. And insert the gas cartridge. Gently and up and into place. And then it simply screws in at the bottom. It's torqued down to 7 Newton meters, or good and tight. So just finishing off there with the 10mm Allen key. It does squeak a bit. Fortunately, the camera didn't, or the mic didn't pick it up. But it's a fairly heavy plastic on metal thread action, so you get a squeak, squeak, squeak. And then there's just a retaining bolt. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you service a dropper post. I presume that other serviceable dropper posts are as easy to service as the Highline by Crank Brothers. Not sure, never tried it, don't own one, so I just don't know. But you could always tell us of your difficulties or how easy you thought it was in the comments below. So after getting it rebuilt, what I did was put it back on the bike. Sure, you don't want to see me doing that. It's sticking it down into the seat post and reconnecting and all that sort of. Basically, it's removal in reverse. Not very difficult. And here we have it in action. It presses the lever, the saddle comes up. It presses the lever and pushes down with its hand. The saddle goes down. I think last time when I was doing this, the post might not have been lubricated enough, hence it wasn't going down very easily. But now, works perfectly. The more observant of you will have noticed I have changed my trousers. Yes, It's a new day, it's a new dawn, and it's a new pair of trousers. All done. Next time on YouTube's most seldom seen mountain biking channel, we're going to take one of these, a Hope Pro 5 hub, and one of these, a DT Swiss FR541 rim. We're going to add some spokes and nipples and we're going to make a wheel. Yay! Now, before we go, one final thing. Not the final thing, we are going to have the new intro video. Stick around for that. Before the intro video though, I would just like to personally ask you all out there in the internet land to please press the like button or subscribe, or like and subscribe. Liking is more important, we fear. We are fearful, are we? Maybe not. Anyway, like, subscribe, please leave a comment, and just in case you've forgotten, one buy is one more better, isn't it? Now then, to play us out, our new intro video.